With this video, this is probably the most vloggiest video I've made so far. It's basically very stripped down, just me talking to the camera. I just don't feel comfortable making the video that I planned to do today, which was going to be a lot more creative. But certain things came to my attention this morning, and I basically just scrapped that idea, and I'm holding it off for next week. But for this video, I just really feel like I need to dive into questions that were opened from the past 3 drug videos. I just don't feel in good conscience that it's right to go from quitting Concerta to something that acts as if that other video didn't even happen. And I feel like some commentary needs to be included here. So here it goes. So for the first thing that I want to talk about, it's about the terminology that I've been using in these videos. I've basically described my time using Concerta in not the most favorable of light. I don't feel right about taking it because there are some things that I feel are withdrawn from me when I pop the pill. And when I say these terms to describe my Concerta intake, I'm not saying it to, insult anybody. I'm saying it because that's how I feel about myself when I'm on these pills. And I'm still going to be using those terms to describe the way I am on Concerta unless I become more comfortable with taking it. And I also just want to say that if you take Concerta or if you take Paxil, there's nothing wrong with that at all. And if you love it and it makes you a fucking awesome person, then you should feel proud of that. And then the other thing that I want to talk about is the way I've been addressing my parents in these past few videos. I think that overall I haven't been very fair or kind in my descriptions. And yeah, that's a big problem. They were people who wanted the best for me, and they believed that this would be the right thing to do. And I know it wasn't a hard decision for them. It was a no-brainer for them. They were like, no, let's put him on drugs. And they've told me this. This isn't something that I'm just assuming. I've asked them, and this was the reply that I received. And even though that decision was easy, the position couldn't have been more difficult. I'm not a parent. I don't have kids. I'm not even married. And I can't imagine how difficult it is to raise a child, especially me. I was a real handful. I was really failing in school and I just couldn't keep up. And it was a consistent issue that kept happening. And I could blame the teachers that I had for being not good fits for me or something like that. But it's like, what can you expect? A whole society to change just so you can be a better student? I didn't have that much awareness at 10 years old, so there wasn't much I could do. It was completely out of my hands, and I didn't want to be seen as a freak. I wanted to excel, and I wanted to be accepted. And when I took Concerta at that young age, those were the results I did receive, and I didn't feel hollow about it. I did feel like rejuvenated, but, there was good cause for them to be like, yes, let's keep him on these drugs because they are helping him and they are aiding him. And it did make me feel like less of a freak. Maybe the real hard decision would have been, okay, let's try to find a way to help him without the use of drugs. I think that would have been the true, tough decision. But they chose the easy way out. But I know that they did it because they love me very much. But just because they are the best of intentions and just because they were done in adverse conditions doesn't necessarily mean it was overall right. And when I'm saying all of that stuff in the video about, my mom saying it was a miracle pill or that they freaked out and decided to put me on these drugs and that I take it almost as a way to prove to them that I'm not a fuck up, all that stuff is totally true. But at the same time, I'm not showing the other side. I'm not being empathetic. I should have been more well balanced in depicting my parents throughout these videos. But I just want to let you know that I'm not trying to, just pontificate musings about the world to make myself feel better. I'm doing it because I'm trying to figure out who I am because I think I'm a complete mess and I want to be figured out. And I think when I go back into real therapy, I just want to make sure that the environment is one where I can just be completely honest, like I am with my friends. My current psychiatrist isn't exactly the best fit for me, and I've been seeing her for about a year, and she's been giving me a lot of bad advice, and every time I talk to her, it feels like it's the first time we've talked, which isn't the case. It should be when you're with a therapist. Like, their whole job is to get to know you, and I know I should see another therapist, but I'm too lazy. So right now I just have a camera and hopefully a few people watching it. and I need you to hopefully cling by your monitor and just please forgive me, or just say, oh, come on, Greg, it's not that big of a deal. And that's really it. Thanks for watching this. I'll see you next week. Hopefully I won't be as Greg talking about drugs. I'll be somebody else. But that's really all that I wanted to talk about this week. And that's it. See you later. You can turn it off, Niko.